So students, today we are going to discuss about a new chapter called electrochemistry. It is the third chapter as per the syllabus after solid state and the solution. So after a short gap, we have resumed our regular classes. What are we expecting from this chapter? It is a numerical heavy chapter. We have to solve a lot of numericals. That is not everything. This chapter actually deals with the generation of electricity from the chemical reactions. Which kind of chemical reactions? The spontaneous chemical reactions. The reaction which takes place without much of a difficulties. And at the same point of time, we will use this electricity to carry out the reactions which are non-spontaneous. So on one side, we are going to convert the chemical energy into the electrical energy. We will take the help of the spontaneous reactions in that case. In other way, we are going to take the help of the electrical energy to carry out the chemical reactions. So there are two ways with the chapter progressing we are going to understand that. Here, if you can remember, one of the class 10 topic, or in 11 also it was there, known as redox. Redox reaction. You can remember this? Based on the redox reaction, this whole chapter is actually depending upon. So first thing first, as I have said, we are going to use the spontaneous chemical reactions to generate electrical energy. So that is what we are going to do. Let us see, by using redox reaction, how can we use the spontaneous chemical reactions and convert them into the electrical energy. And obviously in this chapter itself, we are going to observe the vice versa also. So let us see one by one. So as I have already mentioned, electrochemistry relates two types of energy. One is chemical energy, another is electrical energy. Now, chemical energy can be converted to electrical energy, and in this case we are going to use a certain kind of cell known as galvanic cell. Similarly, in case of electrical energy, we convert it into chemical energy. These are called electrolytic cell. Now, first we are going to discuss this part in details. Then after having the complete knowledge of this segment, we are going to come into this part. So now our topic will be discussing galvanic cell. So let us see, by using galvanic cell, how can we convert the chemical energy into electrical energy. For that, we are going to take one reference in 1836, named after the scientist. A cell was developed known as Daniell cell. And with the help of this cell, it has been shown that how the chemical energy can be converted to electrical energy. How it is done? So for that, we will choose a very simple reaction. We will take zinc plus copper sulfate, giving rise to zinc sulfate and copper. A simple displacement reaction. But in this displacement reaction, if you see it minutely with the help of redox, you see it is nothing but Zn plus Cu2 plus, giving rise to Zn2 plus Cu. Now zinc to Zn2 plus and Cu2 plus 2 Cu. Check these two cases. What is happening here? Zinc is losing 2 electron and copper is accepting 2 electron. Losing electron and going into higher oxidation states, obviously this part is oxidation, and accepting electron going into lower oxidation state is reduction. When we observe both of these, the idea or the question that comes into our mind is, what is the output? This one, as you can see, there are transfer of electrons, and as you know, transfer of electrons are related to the flow of electricity. The direction in which the electron flows, exactly on the opposite direction electricity flows. So now this particular reaction will be established with the help of the galvanic cell and will be shown how it can be reflecting into the generation of electricity. So the next part is the experimental setup of this galvanic cell. Now let us draw a diagram. Here I have kept one beaker. A beaker is kept. And on the right hand side, another beaker I have kept. So suppose these are the two beakers which are kept side by side. So two beakers. Now in this side, in the left hand side, we have kept a zinc rod. I'm very bad at drawing. I'm just trying to let you understand what actually it is scientifically. I am quite sure that you can draw it much better. So you draw it in your copy, and from there only you read. And on the right hand side, we have kept another metallic rod as copper. So now these two are kept, and what we are going to do is, on the left hand side we are going to put some solutions here. And on the right hand side also we are going to put some solutions. I'm coming actually, what it is I will just tell you. So keep it simple. I have kept two rods, metallic rods. The left one is actually zinc rod, this one. This one is zinc rod and the right one is copper rod. So two metallic rod has been kept. They are actually dipped in the solution. This one is 1 molar ZnSO4 and this one is same concentration copper sulfate solution. Now the next target will be to join these two. How will we join? Let us see. So to join the solutions, we are going to take one wire like this. Alright. So we have kept one key here also. One ammeter has been kept and it is attached. I'm just trying to draw it so that you understand at least this much. And joining these two, a thing called salt bridge is kept. This kind of U-shaped tube. Opened on both the sides. Okay. So this is a U-shaped tube. It's not the U-tube that we use. It is the U-shaped tube, and it is known as salt bridge. So again, two beakers, two metallic rods are dipped into the respective salt solution of those. Here we have tried to communicate these two with the help of a wire. An ammeter has been kept to check the flow of the electricity, and this is how a simple galvanic cell looks like. Now the point is, if we keep it, when the circuit is completed, by inserting the key in the circuit, it is observed that the electric current flows through the external circuit as indicated by the ammeter. So what happens when the circuit is attached? There is a flow of electron from this side to that side. Electron will flow from this side. Question is why? Why the electron will flow? So to understand that, first let us see the observations. So I'm just writing out the observations one by one. You also write it down. First is zinc rod gradually loses its weight. This is the first thing. Second is the concentration of Zn2 plus in zinc sulfate solution, which is aqueous solution, increases. We will also talk about it. Next is just the opposite. Concentration of copper 2 plus in copper sulfate solution decreases. And the last one is the flow of electron will be there from the external circuit from zinc to copper rod. That means flow of electron through external circuit from which side to which side? From zinc to copper. From zinc to copper electrode. These metallic rods are called electrodes. So first thing first, you write it down. Yes, you now note it down. Note down all the four points which I have written. Then we are going to proceed. Due to the wrong adjustment, I think last 2 points have not been observed, but I have spoken, you must have heard. Now I think everything is visible. So better you write it down now, and then we are going to proceed. So again I am repeating the topics. First of all, zinc rod will lose its weight. Second is concentration of zinc 2 plus in ZnSO4 on the left hand side, as you can see, will be increasing over here. Third one is copper 2 plus on the right hand side in copper sulfate solution decreases, and there is a flow of electron from left to right. Now we are going to explain those. Now let us look into the things for the explanation. What happens with time? Zinc rod gradually loses its weight. It is because of that zinc will be losing 2 electron and forms Zn2 plus. And when it forms Zn2 plus from the metallic rod zinc, it comes into the solution. Right? So from the metal, the Zn2 plus ions comes into the solution, because zinc ZnSO4 is nothing but Zn2 plus SO4 2 minus. So in the solution it is ionized Zn2 plus and SO4 2 minus, and from the metallic zinc some more amount of Zn2 plus is coming into the solution. So with time what will happen is that this will be depleted. As you can see, the metallic rod on the left hand side, which is red over here, will be depleted, and more amount of Zn2 plus will be coming into this left hand side. And on the right hand side what happens, the electrons that are lost will be flowing from this circuit from left to right, and the copper 2 plus accepts those 2 electrons and will form copper. So here you will find copper 2 plus will be going into the rod because they accept electron. The electron is coming from left to right. In the solution of copper sulfate, already it is copper 2 plus and SO4 2 minus. Electrons are coming. Some of the copper 2 plus accepts the electron, forms the metallic copper, and the metallic copper now will be deposited over here. Will be deposited. You can see the deposition. So it becomes thicker with time. Since the electron is flowing from left to right, so this is called the negative electrode and this is called the positive electrode. So these notations must be understood. Since there is a flow of electron from left to right, so we consider the negative terminal. Copper rod is regarded as the positive terminal and zinc rod is regarded as the negative terminal. And obviously negative terminal is known as the anode, which is on the left hand side, and the positive side on the right hand side, it is called cathode, which is the copper terminal. So you note it down that this one is called, the left one is called cathode and this one is called anode. So this is how the circuit is being completed. We can see the electrons will flow from anode to cathode. So on the opposite side, exactly on the opposite side, the electricity will flow from this to that. It is the flow of current. So current is flowing from cathode to anode. So this is how the electrochemical cell is being completed. Now regarding the salt bridge, we will discuss it separately on another day. Remember, the role of the salt bridge will be to complete the circuit first, and second, it plays a very vital role to maintain the electrical neutrality. So if we want to mention the role of the salt bridge, it actually maintains this one. It first of all it completes the circuit. Second is it maintains electrical neutrality of the system. How it maintains the electrical neutrality of the system, for that we need to discuss separately. So first you understand all these things, okay? Then we are going to have a further discussion on the role of the salt bridge. How does it maintain the electrical neutrality? But role I have already mentioned, it is having basically two roles, which is written on the right hand side of the whiteboard, as you can see. So this is all about the basic electrochemical cell or the galvanic cell that we have discussed. So I expect you to understand it properly. Rewind the video again and again to understand it properly. Do write it down on pen and paper to understand. And if the queries are there, obviously you can ask.